Today we're talking about mantra and prayer, and that's all about connection. It is connection to the divine. And connection is like a magnet. When there is the light, we are attracted to the light. When my master had his light, we were attracted. Why? Because the magnet needs to attract. We need each other. There was a rabbi who said, God, without you, there is no me. But without me, there is no you. Because we live in the world of duality, right? And our journey is to go back to that light. And the thing is, we try to rush a journey. We want to go back because the world is full of suffering, etc., etc. But Hariom Tat Sat, we can control nothing. You got that? More and more I'm hearing people, but I would like it to be this way, so would I. But it is the way it is. So whole action of yoga is to be in the moment, not to try to control. Oh, Nalanie, I'm so frightened because my child is gone and I don't want her to be a dancer. I want her to be a doctor. So I'm miserable. Let go. You cannot control it. The more you hold, what happens? You all know. The more you hold somebody and try to possess them, they want to go. Advice. It's again. So how do we keep the mind one-pointed? And this is the whole practice of mantra chanting, to keep it one-pointed. So what is prayer and what is mantra chanting? Here you can see, what does it say? Would you like to read the sign behind?
Prayers are invisible, but make impossible things possible.
Okay, so prayer makes impossible things possible. Because why? When you say a prayer, what are you doing? Anybody, what are you doing when you say a prayer? Let's say St. Francis's prayer.
Putting out an energy.
Correct. And you are like, make me a channel of your peace. So what thought is going in your mind? Are you focusing on the prayer, or is your mind 1,000 miles away? Most people, like, they say a prayer and they da-da-da, but the mind's not there. They're singing, but they're not there. They're not really feeling the emotion of the prayer. When you touch that emotion of the prayer, Father, really feel the Father in your heart. Make me a channel of that peace. Make me. Not, really, I shouldn't be here. It should be my partner who's here because they need the help, not me, which is what goes on in people's head. But you are here. So the fact that you are here is because what? I need it, not somebody else. So when you say a prayer, it's like asking sometimes. So it's like, please make me a channel of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me bring love. Okay, that line alone. Let's just work on a prayer first and then we'll talk about mantras. Where there's hatred, let me bring love. In your life, where has there been hatred or not good feelings, resentfulness, okay? Look at it. There's resentfulness. When you feel resentful, where does it sit? Where does it sit? Some say belly, some say heart. Both. It's an emotion, right? So then when you're saying the prayer, it has to be sincere. So now at this point of this prayer, you already know that resentful makes you ill. Here and here, it makes you ill. So then you think, where there's hatred, let me bring love. Okay, so what is the medicine? Love. Love. I can't love this person because this person hurt me too much. You don't have to love them. I mean, you don't have to love their personality. You love that they're divine too. And they came to you to teach you. Either to teach you to forgive them or either to teach you to walk away from evil. This is where we talked about discriminative discernment. You need that. You need to be very clear. And again, when you say a prayer, be really clear. The universe will give you whatever you want if you're really clear and you mean it. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. So you can't bring love there. So what would you do? The practice of pratipaksha bhavana. Go somewhere else and give love. Go somewhere else and give love. So you give love to somebody else, you give love to somebody else, and you come home, and the person that you feel resentful to, or the situation you feel resentful to, will lessen. It will go down. You won't give it so much space anymore. Because you're focused. And until you get to the point where when you think of this resentful situation, you go, I'm so glad I'm free of it. I learned to free myself. Yes, I've succeeded. Always tell yourself, yes, I've succeeded, because the universe loves it. God loves us. And we think we tried our best, it will give us everything we need. We've done our best. This takes time, okay? Today somebody said, oh, Nalanie, I can't help how I feel. I can't help. I really do feel jealous. I go, I know. And it's painful, isn't it? And she goes, it's very painful. And I said, yeah. So I was so angry I could do this to this person. I said, go ahead and do it. And how will you feel? Better? No, but I can't help it. How do I change? I said, you've got to now think on how you can strengthen yourself. You've given all your power away to somebody else. Think, do you really want to give your power? But I'm really angry. Yeah, calm down now. Okay, let's visualize the situation. You are going to call this person and insult them. They're going to come back. You're going to go back. Now at least you're a little resentful, you're a little angry for a little time. And you can start and work them. But if you start this boomerang going, you're going to suffer for many years to come. Do you really want to do it? What is your goal? Why do you call me? Why are you calling me? Because you know your goal is peace. And you know I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear. Make peace with yourself. Make peace with God. But it's so hard. Yeah, it is. But you can do it. What did Krishna tell Arjuna? Yes, it is difficult, but not impossible. And anything great that you do in your life, yeah, is difficult, isn't it? It's just difficult. So don't be afraid of difficulty. No, always see that you will succeed. I will succeed because the power of love heals all. The power of love. Keep saying the power of love heals all. I can't love here, but I can love everywhere else. And then in time, that will disappear. But if you try to focus on that one, I have to love this person you don't like, it's not going to work. And this is where prayers are really, really very important. And this is why I love the serenity prayer, right? I often quote it because it is, Lord, what does it say? You're really good. Grant me the tranquility to accept the things I cannot change. So prayer helps us to keep our place, to remember. And of course, when people get sick and they say, please pray for this person, prayers are strong, powerful thoughts. As you think, so I always tell the person, I haven't seen the person you've asked me to pray for, but I see you. So you just have to close your eyes. Okay, right now, let's just do this exercise because it's really very powerful. Think of somebody you know that is going through a really difficult time. Close your eyes. Visualize their faces. Look at them. And look at them smiling slowly and pray. May you be well. May you feel blessed. May you be abundant. May you be free from suffering. May you be free from pain. And see them smiling. And hear them say, thank you. And hear yourself say, thank you. Thank you for doing what's best for this person. Thank you. And open your eyes. This is very powerful because it's direct, right? It's energy. Energy can go through the ether. People can feel it because it's going right through the ether. It's radio waves. This is our own radio waves. But it has to be sincere. And in order for it to be sincere, you have to be so focused. So focused, not thinking, oh, I have to pray for this person. Okay, I'm trying to gum, you gel my hair, but really let me fix this. And do you know what I'm saying? You're going to pray that 30 seconds or 1 minute is far more effective than chanting for 12 hours and not even feeling it, your mind going everywhere else. My father always used to say that to me. He said, Nalanie, 2 minutes of prayer is worth 8 hours of meditation if you're not focused. If you're not focused, because those 2 minutes of prayer is meditation. Because you're focused. You're totally focused. And this is the practice of mantra. What are mantras? Strong, powerful thoughts again. Also, the word mantra means man is mind, that which protects and liberates the mind. Okay, where do all the problems start? What mantras are bridge. Mantras are like a bridge from our inner world to our outer world, to our consciousness, to the super consciousness. So they are bridges. I'd like to read to you something from the Upanishads about mantras. The shining self dwells hidden in the heart. Everything in the cosmos, great and small, lives in the self. He is the source of all life, truth beyond the transience of this world. He is the goal of life. Attain this goal. How do you attain this goal of connection with the Supreme Spirit? They use the word he, but it could be it. It's probably an it. Energy, light, whatever you want to replace it with. Okay, so it says that is the goal of life. So it says, take the great bow of the sacred scriptures. Place on it the arrow of devotion. So I want you to imagine this bow, which is the sacred scriptures. So why the sacred scriptures? Because all sacred scriptures teach us what? You tell me.
Truth.
Truth.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. What kind of knowledge do the scriptures all teach?
How to attain peace, how to love.
Correct. Love.
Share.
Correct.
Unity as well.
Yeah, and all, correct. All of that. All scriptures teach that. All scriptures, what do they teach as well? Not to do. That would hurt you, yourself, and everybody else.
Non-violence.
Non-violence. Good, yes. That's what, so they say, take this learning, and that's your bow, that's your treasure. Place it on an arrow of devotion. So so the arrow is full of devotion, full of love, all right? Then draw the bowstring of a meditation. So the bowstring, you know, when you've got a bow, you've got a string. So use meditation as the way to go forward. The arrow is devotion, and aim at the target, the Lord of love. That's what we call God, the Lord of love. How can we know God? Impossible, not possible. Impossible, but we can know unconditional love. And we can know that when we are in that state, that we're in bliss. We know that, we can all know, and that's why we're all here, and that's why we're doing yoga. We know it's achievable, otherwise you wouldn't be sitting here. Because at one point in your life, everybody's felt this. So then it says, now aim at the target of love. The mantra is your bow. Change it. The mantra is your bow. The aspirant is the arrow. You become the arrow and you become love. That's who you are. And the Lord, the target. Now draw the bowstring of meditation and hitting the target, be one with it. So the mantra is that bridge, that bow. You hit the target. Nobody else can do it for you. All right? Nobody else can do it for you. I know everybody keeps saying we can do it for you, but really, I'm really very sorry. I'm a very simple teacher. There's no magic tricks up my sleeve. They're up your sleeve. And I have seen that nobody can do it for anybody else. You get temporary relief, but then you go back to square one. So you might as well start with this square one. It's all here. It's all here, and it's all here right now. And always kind of tell yourself when you get into a kind of place that is full of rage or anger or victimhood or fear or feeling not good enough, incapable, guilt, fear, worry, keep telling yourself, I need to bring the arrow of devotion back. So what's missing? Why am I not feeling this connection? What is missing? And again there, prayer becomes beautiful. Prayer brings it back. When you start to pray, that's why sometimes, all religions are great. Truth is one, God is love. When you follow the religion and you don't follow the ego part of it, the egotistic leaders. So God, please forgive me, I keep saying this. Because they all teach the same truth. So many times I have many Catholics or Christians coming to me and they say to me, Nalanie, but I'm using a Sanskrit mantra, but I really, really, really would like to use Lord have mercy, Christ have mercy, or thy will be done. I said, which connects you? Thy will be done. And that's your mantra. Say it. Because you are communicating it, not me. For me, I will do my guru meditation mantra. But that's your guru meditation mantra because you've heard it since you were 2 years old. And now you're 50 years old. So it's deep in your psyche. Take the shortcut. Don't take the long cut. Why change it? If it's helped you all these years, don't change it. It's like starting again. All mantras are great if you have total faith in them. It is your faith that will move mountains. And where you have love in your heart is where your faith will be. I have love in my heart for my guru, so my faith is there. But I know he is a teacher for me, a higher being who came to this earth. But God is beyond that. But he lit me. He lit the wisdom inside of me. So the wisdom has to be lit within us. That's what we call darshan in our language. When you're in the light, you can see your own light. That's the only reason for it, because the world keeps telling us we're not good enough, or we worry too much, or there's so much fear, we're not going to achieve, we have so many things we want to do, and we feel we can't achieve it. No, don't think like that. Just go back, repeat your mantra, repeat your mantra. The mantra is so powerful. It is so powerful. When I got my initiation mantra, I can tell you so many stories about things that happened to me. I got my mantra over the phone, and then I kept on repeating it non-stop. And that was my first trip to the States to see my master. And always it becomes a pilgrimage, the first trip you make to see your master. Always something goes wrong. Weather is bad. This is you get waylaid. It's all a test. All a test. And so anyway, I got to, that's many years ago, I'm talking about 1990, okay? And I was, I was staying with my sister in New Jersey, got from New Jersey to Washington, Charlottesville, in those days, no mobile phones. Okay, so I arrive in Washington and they say, oh, there's a storm. Your flight is delayed. It's not flying, it's not going. But I go, I need to call the people in Charlottesville. They're going to pick me up. So there's a machine there. None of my credit cards, only had one. Didn't work, wouldn't work. So I go back and I said, can you help me with this? No, ma'am, we can't help you. You got to find a place to stay in Washington. However, there's another flight to Charlottesville later tonight. I doubt you'll get it. Yeah, too many people on standby already because of the first flight, right? So that flight's gone. So they tell me a flight in 3 hours. So I go, okay, can't use my credit card. I don't have a phone. Can't call anybody. So I sit down and I sit where the next flight is going to be. I wait for the announcement. It takes very long to give you the announcement. And I go there and I repeat the mantra for the 3 hours. Just repeat, repeat, repeat. I said, if I don't get on the flight tonight, I'll see what next. But I'm going to get on that flight. And somebody's going to be there waiting for me. So I do the mantra. And there's this girl comes on the, to check people in to the flight. And I tell her, I said, oh, you're going to think I'm really ridiculous, but I've never flown here before. And if I miss the flight, I don't know where to go, what to do. I said, my credit card doesn't work here. Please help me. She said, oh, I don't think you'll get on the flight. There are 9 people on the waiting list already before you. And I said, well, I'll just sit there, just in case. So people started coming in. Suddenly, she calls me. And I said, yes. And she goes, just go in. Thank you, mantra. But these for me these things are the miracles. It's not the big things that are miracles. Those are the miracles for me. And then the person was at the other end, said, we heard it was a storm, and Gurudev, my master, it's your first time to the ashram, and to make sure I don't come back unless I come back with you. So he waited for me all those hours at the airport. So how lucky is that, right? And the power of the mantra. In those days as well, I used to be very scared of bugs. Very petrified, phobia, really. See a cockroach and I scream and go on top of the bed. So of course you go to Virginia country and there's all bugs, all kinds of bugs, right? So I'm walking in the fields. I went alone this time. So I'm a city girl, brought up in Hong Kong, 5-star house and everything. And I love beautiful country, but there are bugs. And so I'm walking in the forest and there's this bee, literally, I promise you, I'm sure it came to test me, circling, and I'm like shaking. What to do? Mantra. Repeat, repeat. It walked with me the whole way, I promise you. The whole way, but didn't touch me. Mantra works. After that, I wasn't fearful of bees anymore. And look, I live here where there's hundreds of bees every day. Couldn't do that when I was 40 years old. Easy when I'm 68. This is the power of mantra. All those years I was young, I shouldn't be scared of cockroaches. They're smaller than me. Still scream. Mantra. We're all divine. We're all one. Teaching, knowledge of the scriptures. We're all one. Nalanie, be real. The creatures were here before you. Be real. All this kind of teaching. Yeah, took years. I mean, the first time this is usually practical. Mantras are practical. What's the point of doing the mantras and say, I want to get enlightened, I can't even face a cockroach. Correct? You have to do the basic things, learn the basic fears before you reach the highest goals. But we all want to reach the highest goals, and we don't want to admit that we're scared of this or scared of that and scared of this and scared of that. And that's what I had to admit. I'm a wimp. And that admission, then prayer, then mantra, with the two things, they were like, oh my goodness. And then when I got the Raj Yoga studies, I got everything I need. I don't need anything else. I literally felt after I got my Raj Yoga studies, there is enough here to learn. I can spend rest of my life just reading the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, the Gita, and at that time I didn't even have the Upanishads, just those two books. And I still wouldn't know it. It would take me a lifetime to live that way. So decided, focus. Okay, mantra helps you focus. Mind goes, da, 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 da. I want to learn this, I want to learn this, I want to learn this. Got so confused one time with chakras, called my guru, because although I focused on the two books, I still had 100 in the library. Okay, so I get my favorite book, Sutras, by the practice, in the presence of one who practiced ahimsa, all hostility cease. I think about it, leave it, and oh, let me get this book on chakras. So I have 10 books on chakras. Okay? Study all of them. Each one says different sounds for different places, different meanings for different places. I call Gurudev. Gurudev, what's going on? I'm really confused. I call him once a month. I learned only to ask important questions, not rubbish. I learned. So I go, what do I do with this? He said, throw all the books away. Study life. Stick to something. Keep the focus. Study life. Live life. Life has its best lessons. So when something goes wrong, say a prayer. Say a prayer. Climb every mountain. That's a prayer, you know, Sound of Music. Climb every mountain. Don't be afraid. How do you climb? Take your mantra, take your prayer, take the teachings. You are going to climb mountains all your life. There's no shortcut, darling. I love you so much, but I can, you know, people promise you, I look at YouTube, they promise you in 3 days you'll be enlightened. And I'm like, how can they even say that? How can they even say that? You all know, you've done so much in your life. In 3 days, were you enlightened? Do you know? And people pay thousands because they believe it. And then I'm thinking, are we really that foolish? Are we really that foolish to pay all these thousands when we know already that healing will hear it? The bow is inside of you. God is inside of you. Life is inside of you. Search inside of you. You got to believe it. But no, I need to know more until your mind becomes so confused like I did with the chakras. I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to know. All I want to know is how to live a beautiful life. Done. Mantras help me. Done. I have to look after my children, I'll look after my children. I have to cook a meal, I'll cook a meal. If I have to, God sends me work, we'll do the work. Doesn't send me, great, I'll meditate. But I'd rather love than lost than not loved at all, right? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you all rather love and lose than never love at all? Because love makes you feel rich. When you feel full of love here, you're going to be full of love out there. But if you feel empty here, you're going to be empty everywhere. So feel, if love comes into your life, love. People come into your life, love. And then your life becomes rich. Don't look at all the things that went wrong, because as you think, if you always think of what's gone wrong, guess what? It will go wrong. Because that's what you're thinking of. You're thinking, it's, you know, oh, what if this goes wrong, this goes wrong? If you think it, it will. The universe loves you, will give you everything you want. Just say, at this moment, and this is to be real, because you have to be real. At this moment, say it with me, at this moment, all is well. At this moment, I am abundant. At this moment, hold your heart. I am so in love with the divine within me. And the divine loves me too. And at this moment, anything you ask for, you will get. Because it's so tuned in. At this moment, bring your self back to this moment. And if this moment is terrible and something awful is going, pray. This is where you pray. And you do I do my mantra, but for somebody who doesn't have a mantra, just do a prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, or grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Oh, where there's hatred, let me bring love. Where there's doubt, hope, let me have hope. You just pray. You pray and you pray and you pray till you cry, and then you will let go. The prayer helps you through the pain, that's all. And you feel, honestly, when you pray like that, you feel somebody holding your hand, as if saying, don't worry, you just suffer for a little while and then it'll be okay. But pain is not a bad thing. It is duality, pain, pleasure, we have both. So we just have to get through the pain. Pleasure, we have no problem. But too much pleasure is also a problem, right? You have too much of anything, and then you feel sick. Delicious cake. Have 1 piece, delicious. 2 pieces, okay. 3 pieces, awful. Have the whole cake, you're sick. So prayer is for me, is being in the moment. And in the moment, whenever you have a chance, you just close your eyes and you just go, may all be blessed. May all be free from suffering. We have that mantra. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shanti Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Auspiciousness be unto all, perfect peace be unto all, fullness be unto all, prosperity be unto all. Be unto all. Because when you say unto all, you're included in the all. You're included in the all. You're there with the all. So you're not only praying for yourself, you're praying for everything around you. So you change the energy of your home. Just by doing that, you change the energy of your space just by doing that. It's really important. Energy and mantras are sounds, the highly elevated sounds that were heard by the rishis, the wise ones, before people learned to talk in the early years of human existence. They were heard, and then they put them into words. So they actually came light dissolved into sound vibration, and sound vibration absorbed into a human mind, and from the human mind the word came out, because the human mind was so pure, in order to give mankind a tool to find ourselves, because we keep getting lost. So they're powerful, they're great. That's why we call the Gayatri mantra. It's so powerful. Because even if you don't understand what it means, just by chanting it for some time, you will feel it. The Om Trambakam, the other mantra, also powerful. You don't even have to know what it means, but it's a healing mantra. You can feel the energy of it after a while. And then a simple mantra, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And then we've got the Guru mantra, one that's given to you by a master from a lineage that you respect. It should always be from a lineage. Watch it. Nowadays, they're very self-proclaimed gurus. No lineage. They're self-proclaimed. They make themselves a guru and they give you their mantra. Be careful, because they give you that energy and it's not over time. So because it's energy. You all know about energy. Your children know your energy so well. When they're sick, they see mom and they feel so well. Your partner, you go away for a few days if you've got a good relationship, they miss you. They miss what they're missing. They're missing that energy. They're missing that love. They're missing that makes them feel alive. So here we're teaching us to be connected with our highest energy, so that there is always, because in life nothing belongs to us, right? So you always need to keep yourself above everything, because nothing belongs to you. So this is how you love. You love with all your heart, but at the same time you know nothing is yours. Or you can choose to be like a monk. Make nothing yours, give up everything and live alone. Not an easy life. I don't see many people very successful in that. It's very hard. So much easier to embrace the world for me. Embrace and love everybody as much as you can. And those you don't like, that's why I love Sri Patanjali. Stay away from them. Easy. It's that simple. Please don't complicate the mind. Oh, I should be good, I need to appear to be nice. Nonsense. Be clear. What is your goal? I want to connect peace. I want to be with God. That's my goal, right? So, I'm sorry. Nobody will stop that from me. Nobody. Nothing. Nothing. Because I have learned, as you have all learned, or should have learned, in the end, nothing is ours. That's why COVID has come. And that's why so many people dying these days so quickly. Why? To wake us up from greed, to be aware. Come, that's your mission. Hey guys, this generation, you got the most knowledge from any generation, spiritual knowledge. No generation has had as much spiritual knowledge than our generation the last 10 years, okay? Before that, wasn't the way it is now. Now it's maybe too much. Maybe it's way too much now. But it always does this, right? And then it comes back to balance. And why do I say it's way too much today? It's because I am seeing people with Kundalini problems today, because they're trying to get there, so they know, for example, the mantra will get you there, or drugs or whatever. So they try to get the shortcut. So they do all these things, but they're not grounded. And if you're not grounded, you can go crazy. Because when you see something like that, you realize, because nowadays it's so much Kundalini. Why do you want your Kundalini to rise if you're not even living a peaceful life? As my master says, when you're ready, when you do good, be good, live a beautiful life, make yourself strong. Mantra prayer, protect yourself. Mantra prayer brings light in you. Then you become that crystal that lights up, because the mantra in prayer keeps your energy level high. And then it'll happen automatically. So being a great human being is good enough. Being the person you are, just don't lose yourself in all of those yoga practices. Don't lose yourself. The yoga practices are meant for you to find yourself. Not lose yourself in all those mountains of information there is now, but to find yourself. To find yourself strong and sturdy. When the winds hit you, you are strong. And then to go so much. And then you're strong. You get through it. You always get through it. You always get through it. Isn't that amazing? That is so amazing. And that's what you need to focus on. So that in itself should keep you encouraged to repeat your mantra constantly. Whichever mantra you've chosen, repeat it all the time. And then When you want, you can do the Gayatri, you can do the Om Tram Gum for people, for their well-being, or when you're locked in a crazy place, do that. But use the simple mantra because you can use it all the time. You know, I have my mantra and some people have initiation mantras. You know, the mind is crazy. It'll say, oh, it's not good enough. I don't like the sound. Don't listen to any of it. The mind will fill you with doubts. The secret is don't stop. You will get the results. I promise you. So this is the power of the mantra. It keeps you in, especially if you have a mind that's all over the place. Keep repeating the mantra. It will also stop the speech, too much talking. You start to listen more. It will inspire you because really this is medicine, personal medicine. Prayer is personal medicine. Nobody can do that for you. Breathing, pranayama is personal medicine. All those are hatha yoga is personal medicine. So you do a little practice every day if you can. Just 35 minutes if you can. If you can't, 20 minutes. Do 10 minutes of stretches, 10 minutes of, 2 minutes of breathing, 8 minutes of mantra and meditation and done. You know? And it'll go like this. It'll go so quick that next day you want, oh, too little. 20 minutes is way too little to do all those things. You see, you do 1 hour. Then after that, too little. I need another hour. And that's how it goes. And then suddenly you bring it into your day because your mind has already been trained, right? You're training it and suddenly it's like the gym, automatic. You're walking out of your bedroom and finish your meditation and all your mind is thinking is, may the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. So you have your coffee and go, delicious. I feel so abundant. Well, that's for me. It's such a delicious gift. First thing in the morning after my meditation to have that delicious coffee. It's so delicious. Thank you for this delicious coffee. And you really live life. Do you see? You're not rushing through it, you know, but you're living it, you are enjoying, you're grateful for it. And this all comes with the mantra practice and prayer practice. If you don't practice, you can't do it. You can't do it. It's not possible. The mind is so crazy, I know. Tell me, I have such a crazy mind. My mother used to tell me all the time, you never sit down. You never sit down when I was a child. So when I started meditation and went to visit her, why are you sitting down? Honest, she would say that she couldn't believe it. I was dancing or doing something. Never stopped. Never stopped. And so what I'm saying is the mantra, like, learn what you need, okay? If you need strength, pray for strength. If you have a lot of feelings of jealousy, I pray for that you say, I release the need to be jealous. I release it because it hurts me. I don't need it anymore. I release it. You know, learn. If you're arrogant, please make me humble. Make me humble. That's why St. Francis's prayer is so beautiful. Make me humble. Make me humble. I'm so proud. And you know when you're proud. You know, your body language tells you. Listen. You're your best teacher, and you know when you're humble, and you know when you're full of love, and you know when you're full of anger. You know. So know that you know. Remember this. Like two golden birds sat on the self-same tree, the ego and the self. The ego eats the sweet and sour fruits of the tree, while the self watches on. So here you are doing all this egotistical stuff and you're making yourself go all over the place. I can't. I'm too dumb, I'm too stupid, or I'm too good, I'm better than everybody else, either way. And here you're watching. No, neither of it's working. I just want peace. I can't get the peace. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Breathe in. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So you start with it loud, then you bring it soft, and then you bring it in, and then it takes you. You don't even have to say it anymore. It talks itself inside of you. And that's mantra practice. That's what we need to achieve